Hey, welcome back to the Guillemot Kayaks Workshop. I'm Nick Schade. I'm working on the microBootlegger Sport strip-built sea kayak. So yesterday I finished glassing the interior. Today I've got a bunch of little tasks to do. I would like to get some glass wrapped around the coaming from the underside of the deck to the top of the coaming. I want to install the Skeg box. I have a pre-made Skeg box. I just want to install it. I also have the Skeg control slot to install. I have one of those just about made, and so I'd like to get that installed. We'll see how much of that actually happens, but that's what's on deck. So in the process of inspecting the boat, I noticed that there's one place here where the carbon Kevlar is lifted up right along the edge. It's hard now, but I think with a little bit of heat I can get the epoxy to soften, and then I'll clamp that down and press it flat and see what happens. It's tight up at the top, still a little bit loose at the bottom. It might just be clamping pressure. Yeah, it's not doing it. I'll try and put some actual epoxy back there and clamp it down. I want to clean up this edge. I trimmed it up last night while the epoxy and carbon Kevlar was still in sort of the leathery stage. The epoxy was still green, still a little bit soft. Now it's hardened up substantially, and I just want to clean that up. So that's 80 grits. I got as far as I could today. I'm going to continue on with this same stuff tomorrow, so this episode is going to be a 2-day episode. So it's the next day, so I'm just going to continue with what I'm doing. So over the past couple days, I took care of bits and bobs that needed to be done. It's sort of tricky to do all these efficiently because there's a lot of little steps that need epoxy to cure. So I need to get everything organized so I can do all the epoxy stuff sort of at the end of the day, let that cure, and so the next day I can go ahead and start with the next step. Not a lot of action here, but I got the Skeg box installed, I got the Skeg slider installed, I glassed the combing, I got the cheek plates glassed on both sides, I got the accent strip on. So, you know, a bunch of little things that if I don't plan ahead, these things can stretch out. So with one simple thing like installing the slider control, I had to glue in the tubes that hold the sliding rod. I had to then glue that whole fixture into the boat, make sure everything's straight, put a fillet in there, clamp it all down, and then glass it, and eventually you'll need a fill coat on that glass. And so that all has cure times, 12 hours each. One thing can take 3 days, even though it's a tiny little thing. So I didn't spend a lot of time talking here. At one point I didn't even have the microphone turned on. It wasn't on purpose. So I just let you watch the process, and I'll put some background music on it, and so you can just watch it happen. Since I didn't have a lot of voiceover on it, if you have any questions, post it in the comments below. I'll try and answer it as quick as I can. I really appreciate your comments and questions. They help me understand what you're having trouble understanding so I can explain things better in the future. So if you like this video, give me the old thumbs up, turn on notifications, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're really into it and want to help me produce these videos, head over to my Patreon site. Even a little bit helps. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do tomorrow. I've got some fill coats to put on. I've got the cheek plates to install. And again, I got to plan ahead so I don't do something that actually slows down the process. So until the next episode, thanks for watching and happy paddling.